Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I am Dr. Homa Pierce. I am the founder and CEO of luckyandloyal.com. This is the wonderful pet parent, Elizabeth Clues.
Yeah. Yep.
And I have just a couple questions I'd love to talk to you a little bit about your dog and the results that you are having. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so go ahead. Tell me a little bit about your dog.
Yeah, so I adopted Fess when he was around 8 or 9, is what they told me, and it's been 5 years now since we adopted him. So we think he's around 14 years old, is what our best guess is. And when I originally adopted him, he was pretty overweight. They said he had already started showing symptoms of arthritis. We had him on carprofen and gabapentin and got his weight under control. And so the last 2 years, he's been doing really well. Fast forward to December 2024, he started following around the house a little bit more, but I usually was there to just pick him up. But one morning, it was about 2 a.m. I found him sprawled out on the floor.
Oh my
He had gone to
gosh.
the bathroom himself, trying to get himself up. And I
So
don't
it
know
felt
how long he was
sudden.
dead.
It was like kind of felt sudden, like this just suddenly happened.
Yep, yep. And so after that, like I said, he had fallen a few times before, and when he had gotten up from those, he was definitely like pretty unstable. But he always recovered pretty quickly. This one took about a week, I feel like, and he still was having a hard time getting up. He was still falling over while he was walking. So took him to the vet. I had done my research on Librella, and I thought like we were kind of at a last option at that point, and I was like, well, we might as well give it a shot and see what happens. He unfortunately had a bad reaction to it, and about a week after that injection, he like really couldn't use his back legs much at all. He was falling over all the time, not just when he was on slippery floors like it was before.
Mhm.
So I panicked. I was like, what is this quality of life for this dog? Will he go back to what he was once the Librella is out of his system? What can we do? And your brace happened to just show up on a Facebook ad, probably because I was Googling so many things for old dogs and how to help stabilize them. So eventually, the algorithm caught on and brought me to your brace. And I had messaged you and asked, do you think this would be a good fit for my dog? And you replied almost immediately, which was awesome. And so we ordered it up and put it on him. And he's not great about being touched, actually, and he
Wow.
doesn't mind us putting this brace on him. I think he like knows it helps him, and he does a good job with us putting it on. So I was a little concerned that we weren't going to be able to actually get it on him to see if it worked, but it wasn't an issue. Um, so I'd say almost immediately he felt more stable and stopped falling over when we put the brace on. And we started taking him for a little bit longer walks than we had previously, just because I felt bad before. I was like, am I making him too sore? Like, is this just bad for him? Is he going to have a horrible night because I'm trying to exercise him and rebuild the muscle? But I feel like with the brace, he was so much more stable that we were able to go further, and then we just keep adding to it. And so I do feel like regardless if it's the Librella wearing off, and that's why he's a little bit more stable as well. Like he is building back the muscle that he hasn't had in over a year.
Right.
It's very obvious his left back hip is pretty atrophied, and even his tail is over to one side because of how bad it is. But I can see it like slowly getting better. And like I said, he does great on our walks now. I never thought I would see him trot again. He does a little trot and bounces off his back legs, and he started doing that again like last week. And so, just incredible what I've seen with him in this brace.
I'm so excited for you. I'll tell you. So what type
Yeah,
of dog is he?
he is a red bone coonhound.
Coonhound. So how much does he weigh?
He's about 75 pounds.
Wow, it's a pretty big dog.
He's a big boy. Yep. And so
Yeah.
to be 14 and 75 pounds and to have hip issues for the last several years,
Mm. And trotting
really,
now.
and trotting now. Exactly. It's crazy. So we still have him on the carprofen and the gabapentin, and he does have a hard time getting up still, but once he's up, he does phenomenal. And I was previously like, I put cameras all over my house and was monitoring him all throughout the night. I wasn't sleeping because I was like, what if he falls somewhere and he's trying to get up again? I don't even worry about it anymore because I feel so much more confident in his stability and his ability to get around that he's just not falling. And so I'm sleeping better. He's feeling better. It's been great.
That's amazing. So the only things that I'm hearing in terms of a support that you've tried is my brace.
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
That's all we tried.
yeah.
The other braces I was concerned would be like too restrictive and he would just continue to lose muscle if he was just going to start putting weight on the other legs. The vet also did think that maybe he tore his ACL either when he fell in that December timeframe or because he was so unstable from the Librella. Maybe one of the times he fell then he tore his ACL. So that could be part of what's going on as well and maybe why he's not getting up so well. But like I said, as soon as he's got the brace on and he's stable, we're moving now. I think we're almost up to like 5,000 steps a day of around the house, outside. Yep. So he's doing really good.
And
that's more than
before
we're
that
walking.
was not walking whatsoever, or
no. So we would still walk, but we only made it about halfway down the street. And like I said, he seemed like very sore and uncomfortable afterwards. But now he's doing great and he's super treat motivated. So that helps of just being able to coax him down the street. But like I said, I just feel so much more comfortable with him walking that I'm willing to try to challenge him a little bit.
That's really exciting.
Yes.
I'm very, very, very happy for you.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question about the possible ACL tear or CCL tear? So how long before trying the brace did you think that he had torn that?
So I wasn't sure what happened. All of a sudden, he started picking up his back left leg. And so he would just like stand and just have the like back paw up. But he's honestly not very athletic. So he has to use that other leg. Like normal dogs, I feel like if they actually tore their CCL, they would be trying to use 3 and limping, but like he doesn't have that coordination. So he was still using the leg. I didn't even cross my mind until we took him to the vet in January and she did an extra assessment on him and said the knee felt super loose. And so that's where we were kind of thinking, well, maybe at some point over the last month or so, he tore his CCL. We didn't do x-rays or anything because I didn't want them to have to knock him out and they weren't going to be able to repair it anyway with his age. So we said we'll just kind of continue to use the brace and see how he does. And like I said, he was trotting last week. So I don't know. I don't have like specifics of when he potentially tore his ACL or even if he actually did tear it. But the vet just kind of seems like based on how she could manipulate the knee and also how he was holding it up in the air most of the time. That it felt like something more sudden versus than just the arthritis kind of progressing super quickly all of a sudden.
Got it. Question about your veterinarian. Has your veterinarian had a chance to look over the brace and see how biomechanically it's been helping him?
He did have it on when we took him in January. She didn't really say anything about it. So
it's pretty new. It's pretty darn new. So you're the innovator in this situation.
Well, surprised he didn't really ask any further questions on it. But
she's probably waiting to see what happens next. And since he's progressing, you'll be able to go back in for your next appointment whenever that is. And you can be like, well, this is him now.
But look at all the muscle he built back.
Yay! Yep. And that's the premise behind the brace itself. It's an exercise and a support. Actually helps to restore symmetry. So it brings the dog back to normal gait. So
we noticed that almost immediately. He was kind of like shifted over to the one side all the time and now he's like very straight in his hips and everything. So I noticed that almost immediately as soon as I put it on.
Well, I'm looking forward to some video, my dear. You're going to have to provide me with the goods. This is way too good. I'm so excited. You are who I made this for. You're like me. You need some, reassurance that you can leave your home and your dog is going to be okay and be there for you when you get back.
Exactly.
Well, I'm hoping he gets to live as long as Cooper has so far. He's 19 now. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
I believe it. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's unbelievable. Yeah, because he's very healthy other than the hips and potentially the knee issue. So I'm like, how do you put down a dog that still is so excited to eat and like wants to be involved in things and wants to go outside for walks and is sniffing in the backyard? Like I just couldn't come to terms with that at this point. So The brace has been amazing.
You have to understand that not coming to terms with that isn't a weakness. It's where you drew your strength and you made the best decisions that you could. And I'm telling you right now, the decision you made with trusting me with your baby
Yes.
is huge. Is
Yes.
huge. And you know you've always got me, right? You can
Yep.
text me later, I want to do this. Or he's so much better that I want to get a shorter sleep for more support. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
That could be next.
Yeah. That'd be for sure.
Well, Elizabeth, thank you so much for speaking with me today. My
Yeah.
heart goes out to you.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
I'm
no, thank you
very
for making
excited. You're welcome. It was out of pure selfishness that I made it.
I feel that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Yeah,
And text me anytime if you need anything.
Will do. Will do. Thank you.
Bye now.